Wednesday, October 8th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, financial support is being offered to people who've been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And it's Mental Illness Awareness Week. We'll look at a campaign aimed at helping Canadians understand the realities. That's a little later.
Plus, are you ready for Thanksgiving? Lifestyle contributor Denise Wild will join us with her long weekend tips and tricks. All that and so much more just ahead on the Wednesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Hi. 6:01, almost anyway, just a few seconds left. 6:01 on this Wednesday, October 8th. We got Latavia, we got Amanda, we got myself, Crystal, and we're just so happy that you are part of our Your Morning Atlantic family.
And our family's been busy texting us. We so appreciate that new way of communicating with the team. 10400 is the number. If you haven't sent us a text yet, you do. It'll ask which station you're watching. Of course, you're watching Atlantic, and we're able to have a little conversation. So we use that for Move Morning Chat. We're going to have that a little bit later in the show, but you can use it anytime just to send us a text. You can text us a community calendar event that you have in mind with all the W5 details. You can let us know maybe if there's a traffic issue happening.
We love it. Also, we also check our emails. We check the messages personally.
Yes.
So we read them all. So Jim, we love your nice message. Thank you so much for watching. We're so glad that you record the show and watch it when your grandsons are over. Sometimes he's a little too preoccupied to actually watch the show. We get it. You get it.
Yeah, basically. I don't watch either. No, I'm just joking.
No, I was just going to say the whole idea of with kids around, it's hard to sometimes concentrate on watching a TV show.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really watch much TV anymore these days.
Well, that's here.
I guess it's better for you anyway, in some cases. But we're going to bring you important information
This
that
is
you actually...
You're watching the weather for us.
Exactly, not trash TV.
No.
So, here's a look at the weather for today. Not a bad start to the day. It is quite dark early this morning in Fredericton. 17 degrees early this morning and still going to be an above seasonal day today. But keep in mind, we have wet weather tracking across the region, starting off for parts of New Brunswick later this morning. Not a bad start to the day, as I mentioned. Light layers today, but make sure to have your rain gear. 16 degrees heading outdoors in Charlottetown, as well as into Halifax. 15 starting off your day in Sydney. 12 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to the air quality statement that remains in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. Still seeing a reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. And we do have this low that will be tracking across the region, bringing rain to all three maritime provinces. Also going to see that wet weather extend in our forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador a little bit later on. Wind still remains out of the southwest this morning. Will be quite breezy today, so keep that in mind as well. As of right now, 35 kilometers per hour in Moncton, 33 in St. John, New Brunswick, 28 in Canso with 26 into North Cape. And wind gusts right now getting up to 50 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick, 35 in Edmundston, 39 in Yarmouth, and 37 in Canso, 41 in Halifax. We'll have a look at your long-range forecast and your rainfall totals as well. But first, we'll take a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. We begin in Nova Scotia, where financial support is being offered to people who have been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. More than 350 properties have been evacuated in the area near Aylesford in the Annapolis Valley. The amount paid out by the province depends on how long the person has been out of their home, with a maximum set at $3,000 per adult and $1,700 for each minor. This applies only to people who've had to leave their primary residence. Applications open today. The money will be available until the evacuation order is lifted or until the wildfire season is considered over on October 31st, whichever comes first. As of yesterday, the Lake George blaze was about 2.9 square kilometers in size. 13,000 households are on the public housing wait list in New Brunswick. The CEO of the province's housing corporation says new units aren't being built nearly fast enough. The New Brunswick Housing Corporation has built 152 units since it was established 2.5 years ago and maintains more than 4,600 units. There are 110 under construction. The existing units have a 4% vacancy rate.
We won't be at zero because we always have turnover. We always have maybe water damage or whatever. So there's always a percent in there that will have a vacancy rate due to renovations, but due to turnover.
He says they have 14 inspectors, but need to hire 6 more to make the turnaround time faster between tenants. More than half on the wait list are households who've been waiting for over 2 years. The corporation's goal is to house 18,000 New Brunswick households by 2029. Nova Scotia's opposition leader says the PC government raced to wrap up the fall legislature without addressing the most pressing issues of housing and affordability. NDP leader Claudia Gender said her party introduced a pair of bills that were lost in the government's rush to...
We have families all across this province who cannot find affordable places to live. They're moving, their kids are having to move all the time. They might get a 1-year lease, and now young families don't see a path to home ownership. These are the problems that we're trying to address.
NDP leader Claudia Gender said her party introduced a pair of bills that were lost in the government's rush to wrap up the fall sitting of the legislature, which lasted just 8 days. Gender says one of the bills would have delivered on rent control, tying allowable increases to the unit, not the tenant. The other bill proposed a target of creating nearly 13,000 affordable housing units per year to address the current shortfall. The Houston government adopted a number of bills in the 8-day sitting, including an amendment that makes it easier for domestic abuse victims to modify leases after their abuser moves out. Moncton's Atlantic Slam basketball tournament has been abruptly postponed. The city has announced the tourney featuring top-tier men's NCAA teams will not happen this year. 2 years ago, the event had a successful showing at the Avenir Center. But last year, a pared-down version saw just a single regular season game between Northeastern University and Connecticut. No reason was provided for the postponement. The city says all tickets will be refunded by November 2nd, and it hopes the tournament will return in 2026. An important conversation about mental health was held in Dartmouth last night. A live performance from singer Lana Grant opened up the Let's Keep Talking event at the NSCC campus Tuesday night. The keynote speaker was Caitlin Morrison, the executive director of the Matthew Perry House and loving sister of the late Canadian actor, best known for his role as Chandler on Friends.
Matthew Perry House is an extraordinary thing to be able to do. It's become my raison d'etre. And it's about giving people the ability to get help with addictions for long enough to get well, truly well in all aspects of their lives. But he struggled with what a lot of Canadians struggle with, which is he couldn't get help for as long as he needed it. And of course it ended up in a cycle that a lot of Canadians deal with, which is this revolving door of treatment. And if you don't have all the resources in the world and you have a loved one who's going through that, you know, I talk to families all the time and they're saying, how are we going to afford to pay for this? And they don't know what quality of care they're going to get. And so that's all the stuff we want to help everybody with.
And the event was hosted by CTV's Paul Hollingsworth. The annual Bell Canada event celebrates the achievements of Nova Scotian who either live with mental illness or addiction or those who support those who do. And there was also an interview last night with Caitlin Morrison with Maria Panapallis on CTV News at 5. I highly recommend you check out that interview if you did miss it. You can find it on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca.
Yeah, it is so important that we have conversations about mental health all the time, but particularly this week. Let us now turn our attention to our contest. Very popular with our viewers, and today's your chance to win $20,000. So all you have to do to win the 20K is head over to our website, or you can go to a QR code that'll be on your screen in a moment. Put in the word treat. Oh, the treats you could purchase with $20,000. So TREAT is the word of the day. Scan that QR code or put it into our website, and you could win $20,000. Tomorrow, tune in again for another code word and another chance to win. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. That woman's so happy it's raining money.
Right?
That would be fun.
Money. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? But listen, rain is going to be like gold when we do get it. So Latavia's got more details on the precipitation, how much we can expect, when it's going to happen, in her first full look at the forecast after our break. And I do. When we return, we'll have your national and international headlines as we take a live look at Annie Ganesh. Good morning. Nice time to walk the dog, get the morning stroll in. We'll be right back after this short break.
Good morning. It's quite a warm start to the day over in Moncton. 18 degrees as you head outdoors this morning. Just make sure to bring your rain gear. You're going to be seeing mainly cloudy skies, but also rain on its way. Time now 6:13 on your Wednesday morning. Not a bad start to the day, really, right across the region. Early this morning, 18 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton with 17 in Charlottetown. Looking at 15 early this morning in Sydney, 16 in Halifax, and 12 degrees in St. John's. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect today for the Kings and Annapolis counties. Seeing that reduction in local air quality, keep that in mind if you are headed out in that community today. Starting off, we do have a low pressure system tracking across parts of the region early this morning. So starting off this band right across the central and northern region of New Brunswick with a chance of showers this morning, as well as periods of rain, a chance of showers moving across parts of Labrador. Then into the afternoon, we're going to see this system start to slowly spread across the Maritime region, impacting Prince Edward Island and mainland Nova Scotia into the Tri-County area as well, bringing wet weather throughout the day. And then into the evening, that's when we start to see it increase across Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, seeing the heaviest of that rainfall situated in parts of eastern mainland Nova Scotia. Over to tonight, early in the morning, still seeing that wet weather starting to clear out, but still leaving a chance of showers for parts of the Maritime region into Thursday's forecast. If you're wondering about totals, we are going to see roughly 2 to 40 millimeters across much of New Brunswick. The heaviest expected 40 to 50 millimeters for St. John. And then into eastern Nova Scotia, looking at around 40 to 50 into Amherst, and going to see those totals increase as this system moves through early Thursday morning. We are going to see only around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Labrador, and then 2 to 20 millimeters for Newfoundland. So over to our forecast today. Starting off, cloudy skies for New Brunswick, then seeing rain move in as well. Wind picking up out of the southwest, 30 gusting to 50 before changing directions out of the northwest. And we are going to see temperatures range today from 10 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. 20 to 21 degrees today for Prince Edward Island. Cloudy skies start off the day as well, seeing precipitation move in this afternoon. And for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, now you're going to see sunshine throughout the day and then rain arriving into the evening with highs between 23 to 24. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 23 degrees, starting off with cloudy skies, seeing rain move in later this morning into the afternoon. For Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at cloudy start to your day, seeing a chance of flurries into the afternoon with a high of 5 degrees in Labrador City, 19 into St. John's, lots of sunshine throughout your day, showers into the evening as well. Thursday's forecast, we do still have some isolated showers lingering for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island. Still seeing some wet weather also for parts of Newfoundland. And then into our forecast for Friday, temperatures quite cold starting off the day on Friday and Thursday's forecast, but we do still have some lingering showers for Cape Breton. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national, international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 6:16. Prime Minister Mark Carney flies back to Ottawa later this morning after a high-stakes meeting in Washington yesterday. U.S. President Donald Trump expressed a shift in tone towards Canada during a critical sit-down with the Prime Minister at the White House. But it wasn't enough to get any resolution on tariffs and trade. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
With a firm but friendly handshake, Prime Minister Mark Carney arrived at the White House for his working lunch with U.S. President Donald Trump.
I think they're going to be very happy. We have a lot of things that we're working on.
In a 32-minute Oval Office meeting, Trump called Carney a great man several times, adding he's confident they'd work through the issues preventing a deal on tariffs.
He's a world-class leader. He's a man that knows what he wants. And I'm not surprised to see that he won the election and won it substantially. And I would think he's more popular now. He's a good man. He does a great job, and he's a tough negotiator.
If he's a great man and you want to do a deal with Canada, why aren't you?
Because I want to be a great man, too.
Trump says the two countries are in a natural business conflict because Canada and the U.S. want to make similar things on both sides of the border.
It's a tough situation because we want to make our cars here. At the same time, we want Canada to do well making cars. So we're working on formulas, and I think we'll get there.
Carney said the two countries are competing, not in conflict.
We are the largest foreign investor in the United States. $500 billion in the last 5 years alone, probably $8 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement that we expect to get.
Following the meeting, the minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade updated reporters on how it went.
It concluded with the president and the prime minister directing us, me and my colleagues, and the president, his cabinet secretaries who were there, Ambassador Greer, Secretary Lutnick, and others, to continue the conversation and to quickly land deals that will bring, we think, greater certainty in areas where the principal areas would be steel and aluminum and energy.
CTV's Mike Licouture reporting from Washington. 3 scientists are being honored with the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics for breakthrough work in quantum mechanics.
The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has today decided to award the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics to John Clark, University of California at Berkeley, USA, Michel Devoret, Yale University and University of California at Santa Barbara, USA, and John Martinez, University of California at Santa Barbara, USA, for the discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit.
Their research helped pave the way for quantum computers and other new technologies. They will share the prize money worth 1.2 million Canadian dollars. The Nobel Committee says their work brings quantum science closer to everyday life. Finally, Toronto Blue Jays fans remain hopeful despite not getting the result they wanted last night.
And a swing and a high drive to deep left center. He's hit it out!
The Jays fell 9-6 to the New York Yankees in Game 3 of their best-of-5 American League Division Series at Yankee Stadium. With Game 4 scheduled for tonight, Toronto can advance to the AL Championship Series for the first time since 2016 if they get that win. A quick break here on your Morning Atlantic. When we return, our colleagues from TSN will have your must-see moment. That's when we return after this break. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Yes, Anne Murray.
I know.
1984. What a great year in music 1984 was.
Yeah?
The Thriller was
Oh, yes, yes.
That was a big time. Like, there's a lot of great stuff. Anne Murray was right in the mix then.
She's so iconic.
So iconic. That's a great photo, too.
I know,
Love
gorgeous.
it.
Gorgeous then and gorgeous
Gorgeous then and gorgeous now. All right, time now is 6:24, and it's time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hey there, Lindsay Hamilton inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. And for this one, we are taking a trip to the Bronx. It is Game 3 of the ALDS. You got the Blue Jays and Yankees, top 5 here. This game tied up at 6s, and Anthony Santander lines it hard to right. Aaron Judge doing Aaron Judge things. A spectacular diving grab for the out. Got it done with his bat and his glove in this one, and he earns your must-see moment. Meanwhile, today on TSN, we've got Game 3 of the WNBA Finals between the Aces and Mercury. It all begins at 7 p.m. Central Time over on TSN 3 and 4. It's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a wonderful Wednesday.
And now we're going to check out your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
Canada exported far less in August than we did in July. The merchandise trade deficit hit $6.3 billion. Exports fell 3%, with Canada exporting a lot less gold to the U.S. and other countries. Exports of industrial machinery and equipment also dropped in a dramatic way. And of course, with new American duties kicking in, less Canadian lumber went south. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down a fraction to 71.66. West Texas Intermediate crude is down 82 cents to 61.32. Western Canadian Select is up to 50.43. And the TSX dropped 180 points today, ending the day at 30,351. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Now we're going to take a look at our midweek forecast for New Brunswick, seeing a cloudy start to the day. Rain moving in later this morning across the province. A high of 17 degrees today, cooling down, a low of 2. So on Thursday, a cold day ahead. 8 degrees with lots of sunshine across the province. Sunshine remains in the forecast on Friday, a high of 12 and a low of 2. For Nova Scotia, we are going to see a cloudy start to the day. Wet weather moving in as well across the province with a high of 23 degrees. On Thursday, looking at 8 degrees as your daytime high and seeing isolated showers for parts of the province. And then on Friday, looking at sunshine for much of the province, we are going to see a continued isolated showers for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, with a high of 12 degrees. For Prince Edward Island, wet weather today as well, later this morning with a high of 20. Thursday, we're looking at 8 degrees with scattered showers. And on Friday, sunshine returns with a high of 12.
Coming up in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. What's today's topic? We'll give you a hint. It involves household chores. We'll have that and how you can share your thoughts with us coming up just ahead on your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you hear that? Someone's got an alarm going off.
Okay, wake up.
In our studio, there's some bizarre alarm going off.
It's so
Okay, I wonder, can you tell us what the alarm says? Oh my gosh.
Is it your phone? Amanda.
It's Amanda's phone on the news desk, everybody.
Could you imagine?
Where did you even get that music? What was that alarm for?
I don't know. I'm very embarrassed right now.
As you should be.
The audience is said, the control room says that you couldn't hear it, but there wasn't a strange alarm going on.
Isn't that funny? Because we can hear it. That's why we're mentioning it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why would I have a 6:30 alarm?
I don't know.
And why would it go off now?
Yeah.
Go cell phones, right?
Yeah, this might be too much information, but one time I went running, I had no pocket, so I stuck the phone in my jog bra top and went running. When I came back, I looked at my phone and my body had set an 8:46 a.m. alarm like 12 times, and I still haven't gotten bothered to delete it off my phone. So sometimes things happen that you don't expect.
Sometimes, oh my gosh. And here I'm like, whose cell phone is that? Oh, it's just mine.
You know, you're like, tell
technology.
us who it is.
Exactly.
What's your alarm? Because you know sometimes you label your alarm like time to get moving.
Sure.
Yeah.
And anyway, well, we're getting alarms going off saying it's time for you to give us the weather.
Sounds good.
Can I make a point? Yes. Where is this right now? Okay, this is Halifax. I was just going to I was going to tell people in New Brunswick to grab their apple-bottom jeans and the boots with the fur because those overnight loads are getting low.
I love that.
They are getting low.
It's getting real low.
Yeah. Right now, not so much.
No, today actually we're starting off quite warm. So 16 degrees starting off your day in Halifax. It's the calm before the storm. We are going to see wet weather track across much of the region today. 18 degrees over in Fredericton, starting off your day early this morning in Charlottetown, 17, 15 in Sydney, 12 into St. John's, and cooler in Labrador City with 4 degrees. We do still have that air quality statement in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. And over to our satellite and radar. So mainly cloudy skies to cloudy skies early this morning for much of Atlantic Canada. We do have this band of wet weather tracking across the region, starting off first for parts of New Brunswick and Labrador. Into the wind now today is going to be another breezy day ahead. As of right now, seeing sustained wind, 30 kilometers per hour in Moncton, 28 in St. John, as well as into Yarmouth, 26 kilometers per hour into Halifax and Grand Etang. Wind gusts getting up to 43 right now in Yarmouth, 48 into St. John, New Brunswick, 44 in Grand Etang, and 41 in Canso and Moncton. We'll have your we'll have your long-range forecast first, but first we're going to throw things over to Amanda for your local news headlines.
All right, thank you so much, Latavia. Time is 6:33. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was fired inside a home in the Moncton area. Police say they responded Sunday to a report of a shot fired inside a home on Dominion Street in Moncton. No one was hurt, and police say the woman was arrested at the scene without incident and the firearm was seized. The woman appeared in court yesterday where she was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a loaded prohibited firearm. The trial of a former Halifax bar bouncer who is accused of choking a man to death on Christmas Eve of 2022 continues today. The cousin of the victim, Ryan Sawyer, delivered emotional testimony yesterday, recounting what she saw that night. Alexander Levy is on trial for manslaughter and criminal negligence causing death. The incident unfolded at the former Halifax Ale House. Levy was head of security at the time. Testimony continues later today. A group of business owners, property managers, and landlords in Moncton have formed a coalition demanding all three levels of government take action on crime in the downtown area.
I get broken windows all over the place, and I got graffiti, and I got garbage through everywhere. That's not fair. You know, we're citizens. We deserve to be safe.
To just wave your hand and say, oh, it's a big city and this is what happens in big cities, it's not. And it's not acceptable. And regardless of what's happening everywhere else, this is our city.
The coalition is called Enough is Enough. The group is demanding a zero-tolerance approach to crime. No one from the city of Moncton was available for an interview, but a spokesperson tells CTV News they're aware of the coalition and they expect a meeting later this week. The city says it has met with provincial government ministers on a regular basis to express its concerns. In Nova Scotia, financial support is being offered to people who have been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. More than 350 properties have been evacuated in the area near Aylesford in the Annapolis Valley. The amount paid out by the province depends on how long the person has been out of their home, with a maximum set at $3,000 per adult and $1,700 for each minor. This applies only to people who've had to leave their primary residence. Applications open today. The money will be available until the evacuation order is lifted or until the wildfire season is considered over, whichever comes first. As of yesterday, the Lake George blaze was about 2.9 square kilometers in size. You can add property tax bills to the growing list of things being impacted by the postal strike. The Cape Breton Regional Municipality has announced that final 2025 property tax bills have been issued, but due to the Canada Post strike, they're asking people to visit the CBRM website to check their balance. However, it's not necessarily an easy adjustment for some, especially seniors.
People of our age aren't really up on the communications with the internet.
Generally, we do a lot of our billing for tax and water bills, which is a big part of City Hall business, through the mail.
The CBRM adds online billing will likely soon become the norm. For now, people can check their balance by calling 311 and then come into City Hall to pay their bill in person or do it through online banking. Property tax payments are due by November 4th. Moncton's Atlantic Slam basketball tournament has been abruptly postponed. The city has announced the tourney featuring top-tier men's NCAA teams will not happen this year. 2 years ago, the event had a successful showing at the Avenir Center, but last year, a pared-down version saw just a single regular season game between Northeastern University and Connecticut. No reason was provided for the postponement. The city says all tickets will be refunded by November 2nd, and it hopes the tournament will return in 2026. A new care unit is taking shape in St. John. Once it is completed, the facility will offer the city's unhoused a safe place to recover following a trip to the hospital. Officials say it's a need that's greater than ever.
We've seen a lot of individuals who just go from hospital to the street, back to the hospital to the street, sometimes worse than that. And so when we have some place like this where it's your own comfortable home to be, you know, it's a small project, but we hope we're able to scale this and repeat it.
Anyone who's ever been in the hospital, you know when you leave, there's an expectation of continued healing at home. But if you have no home to go to, how can we do that? So I think this will be imperative in creating a healthier environment for everyone.
Officials hope the site is ready to welcome its first tenants early next year. Now to a view of vibrant fall foliage from a hot air balloon. Take a look. Oh, imagine if you can do that around here. I'm sure you could. This lucky sightseeing group floats above Vermont's beautiful canopies as the fall colors are lit up by the bright sunshine.
Put this on the bucket list.
I know.
Yes,
this is in Vermont, but it makes me wonder with all the, I mean, we have the Sussex Balloon Festival, right? There's got to be some balloon operators who do something similar around here. Let us know. Send us a text.
For sure.
10400.
Yeah, that we would love to know. It's just in our region, it gets a little windy usually at times, so it's hard to take the balloon up. But this autumn has been so mild and calm. You probably could.
That's true.
Do
So
this this fall.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Wow.
I know.
Thanks
Look
for
at it
that, Amanda.
forever.
What a view.
Oh, my pleasure.
So let's talk about the Blue Jays. Okay. So even though the Toronto Blue Jays did not sweep the Yankees last night, they had a great start. But then the Yankees ended up winning. Well, the Blue Jays are getting plenty of support from the Toronto Maple Leafs online and IRL.
Okay. Blue Jays. Let's play ball. Okay. Blue Jays. Let's play ball. What do you want? Let's
Right, so the Leafs have been great supporters of the Jays so far in this
Jays.
postseason. A number of the players have been spotted at the Rogers Center in last night's Game 3. 9-6 were the final scores. But if the Jays beat the Yankees in the Bronx tonight, they'll move on and be that much closer to winning the World Series. So they have the Leafs support. The Leafs actually start their season tonight.
Do you know what I was going to say?
What were you
I
going
don't
to
know if I'd want the Leafs support right now.
Oh
my
I'm such a Leafs fan, but I'm just like their winning streak is
yes, but they start their
bad,
new
so-
season tonight. New season.
I'm like, don't put that evil on the Jays.
No, it's a new season. Maybe it go the other way. The Jays
I'm always
will
hoping.
support the
Like I
Leafs.
said, I am a Leafs fan.
Yeah.
This is their year.
Maybe Austin Matthews will have a bit more like energy if the Jays win tonight. He was like, go Blue Jays.
Yeah.
What was he whispering? Go Blue Jays.
I know. You can shout it from the rooftop.
You can shout it from the rooftop. And that game for the Jays, Game 4, happening later today.
Yeah. So it's going on, but anyway, and then the Leafs start playing their season.
And if you continue to watch the show at 8:30, I'll be speaking with CTV Scott Hurst to talk about the new season as well.
Really? Oh, great.
Well, yeah, we'll be having that conversation.
Yep, I always do.
Oh, gosh.
All right, there's a lot ahead on this Wednesday, including the latest look at the forecast, also your entertainment news, and also coming up next, the Move Morning Chat. And we want to hear what you have to say about this. Is there a household chore that you hate, as in, like, you are not going to do it unless you have to? That conversation is coming up.
Happy Wednesday, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 6:44. We're taking a live look at Port de Grave. 12 degrees starting off your day. Going to be seeing lots of sunshine today before rain arrives into your area in the evening. We are going to see wet weather track across the region, and it's quite a warm start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, 18 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 17 early this morning in Charlottetown, with 16 degrees in Halifax, 15 in Sydney, and 12 starting off your day in St. John's. We do have an air quality statement in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. Still seeing a reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. Keep that in mind if you are headed out in those communities today. And we do have some wet weather tracking across the region, starting off for the central and northern region of New Brunswick, as well as into Labrador. So this band of precipitation will continue to spread across the rest of the Maritime region into the afternoon, making its way over to parts of Nova Scotia, as well as Prince Edward Island. And then into the evening hours, continues to move east, bringing wet weather across much of the Maritime region, clearing for the central and northern region of New Brunswick, and also bringing that wet weather over to Newfoundland. Seeing the heaviest into eastern mainland Nova Scotia. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, starting off, the heaviest will be situated for New Brunswick, looking at around 2 to 50 millimeters, the heaviest into St. John. And then seeing the heaviest of rainfall for Amherst, around 40 to 50 millimeters of rainfall and around 10 to 30 across Prince Edward Island. We are also expecting around 2 to 20 millimeters for Newfoundland, only 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for Labrador. For forecast today for New Brunswick, starting off with cloudy skies, seeing rain move in later this morning. Highs between 10 to 19 degrees being the warmest into Moncton. Breezy winds as well out of the southwest, 30 gusting to 50. A high of 20 to 21 degrees today for Prince Edward Island. Cloudy skies starting off the day as well. Seeing rain move in this afternoon. And for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day. Rain arriving across this part of the province into the evening. Highs between 23 to 24 degrees. And then the rest of Nova Scotia is seeing a high of 23 degrees. Cloudy start to your day. Rain into the afternoon. For Newfoundland and Labrador, cloudy start to your day, looking at a chance of some flurries returning. A high of 5 degrees in Labrador City, mainly sunny skies for St. John's, Newfoundland, and then seeing showers arrive into the evening, a high of 19. So for forecast on Thursday, things are cooling down. It's going to be quite cold on Thursday. We are going to see some lingering showers, around a 30 to 60% chance of it happening for parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Still seeing some wet weather tracking across parts of Newfoundland. And then in Friday's forecast, sunshine returns for the most part, but we are going to see some lingering showers yet again for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, and parts of Prince Edward Island. That's a look at your weather forecast on this Wednesday. We'll take a look at the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Move Morning Chat with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio, and I really want to know what prompted this discussion. Is there a household chore that you refuse to do? Aaron, where did this come from?
Well, I'm moving right now, so I am currently going through the lovely process of having to deep clean all those things that you put off because they're no fun to do, scrubbing your baseboards. But most recently, I just tried to clean my heat pump on my own. And let me tell you, it is not a fun challenge. Climbing up on bar stools to reach up there, dust flying all over the place, cleaning the unit outside. I just was not cut out for this. So I mentioned to Peter, I mentioned to the Move family, I refuse to clean my heat pump moving forward. Peter can agree with that one.
I can agree with that, but also there are professionals who will do that for you, and I think he probably should leave it to them. But as far as refusing a household chore, I didn't even know that was an option. But going forward, if it is an option, I'm going to get very specific. Cleaning someone else's bathroom. If you're lucky enough to have, 2 or 3 bathrooms in the house and one of them is specifically not yours, I don't want to clean someone else's bathroom. So I'm picking that one as the one that I refuse to do.
Okay, I hear you. You remember Monica from Friends, how she loved cleaning so much? I remember one episode, she's like, oh, you've had your party. She's putting on the rubber gloves. Now I'll have mine. That's me. I love cleaning. Like, I'll clean your bathroom, Peter. I'll do anything. Like, I love a household chore.
That's so funny. Okay, there's one, I love a good deep clean. There is one thing that I refuse to do, and I always ask my husband to do it. It is unclogging the sink. And I'm not talking the kitchen sink, even your bathroom sink. I'm talking about the sink in the shower. If you've ever had that clog up with hair, and it's my hair and the curls, I gotta tell you, he's got this special attachment he adds to, he puts on our drill, sticks it down there, and it looks like he's pulling up a wet rat.
Yeah, exactly. I call that the gelatinous rat.
Yes.
I love pulling out the gelatinous rat. It's so satisfying.
I thought of it in the shower this morning, actually. I was like, oh, I got to tell Mike that it's time for him to clean this because I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're asking our viewers, what is something that you will absolutely refuse to do when it comes to a household chore? You can send us a text at 10400. Standard message and data rates apply. We'll share your answers later in the show.
Time now to head over to Hollywood and take a look at your entertainment headlines.
Jared Leto and Jeff Bridges walking in the red lights at the Hollywood premiere of Tron Ares. Disney's third sci-fi installment of the Tron movie franchise hits theaters this Friday, with Leto starring as Ares.
I think everybody on the set felt like, we were working on something special, that, a movie that we've enjoyed in the past. and we really wanted to honor the work that has been done before.
Disney is the parent company of ABC News. Taylor Swift is weighing in on the reception to her most recent studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. The pop star thanked fans who responded positively to the album on Apple Music's Zane Lowe podcast. And as for those who weren't so into it, Swift says she welcomes the chaos and that she has a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions of art.
You've spent a lifetime battling monsters and men.
The Witcher Season 4 is out with its latest trailer. In it, Geralt, played by Liam Hemsworth, finds himself on a quest to find Ciri, played by Freya Allen. Lawrence Fishburne also joins the cast this season. Look for Season 4 of The Witcher to hit Netflix October 30th. Happy birthday to Matt Damon. The star of the Jason Bourne franchise, Good Will Hunting, and Ocean's 11 is turning 55 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Interesting.
Yeah, lots going on.
Yeah. All right. We're going to talk about another story now. There's a Nova Scotia musical artist bursting into the scene and rapidly gaining a loyal following.
CTV's Katie Kelly shines a spotlight on Koya States.
I want a closure, but then life has screwed me over. There's something I wish I told you, and now I'm just stuck here shuffling through my past.
Koya States is one of the newest faces on the East Coast music scene.
I'm like shook.
States is up for 2 major honors at the African Nova Scotian Music Awards.
So I'm nominated for the Emerging Artist Award, and then I'm also nominating for Album of the Year.
Her manager says ANSMA has been key in her growth.
I would say it's a backbone for artists.
They put me in so many mentorships. They put me in so many vocal lessons.
States says music has been a part of her life since she was a kid.
So I hope you don't take it personal, that's what I recommend.
Even sharing that passion with her twin brother, who she often collabs with.
He always sang with me, even when we were little. We would do karaoke on the TV and Just Dance, singing the lyrics, stuff like that. So it kind of was always there.
Well, life's been a roller coaster, moving through rocks and boulders, just to get the coldest shoulder. Now I'm saying nah.
2025 has been a big year, opening for major acts like Lil Mosey, Neon Dreams, and just last weekend, Kid Leroy at the Magnetic World Music Festival.
The big crowds, they get me excited. Obviously, when I first get on, I'm nervous, really nervous, but they get me really hyped.
Her performance style is high energy, with dancers, costumes, and visuals all planned by her.
I do a lot of choreography with my dancers too. I like to interact, so I like to make songs where I can be okay, you guys do this and repeat it after me, so I can kind of keep them intrigued.
She's so amazing. It's something that I can't think about. Anytime I watch her perform, I watch her sing, I'm she's really a star.
I'm just excited to kind of see where my journey's going this year, because me growing up, I feel I wasn't great at communicating, and that was the one way I could express myself and feel understood was through music. So I hope I can do that for somebody else.
I want closure, but then life has screwed me over. Something I wish I told you.
Wow, what a beautiful voice. Happening now in news, tens of thousands of people are on the public housing wait list in New Brunswick, and that number has grown despite the province establishing a standalone Crown corporation to focus on public housing. Also in New Brunswick, shots fired. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was used inside a home in the Moncton area over the weekend. Plus, an important conversation about mental health in Dartmouth last night with the sister of the late Matthew Perry. Those details coming up in your local news headlines. But for now, a quick break on your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this. It's Wednesday, October 8th. Today, a long wait. New Brunswick's Housing Corporation says a wait list far outpaces construction. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And Mental Illness Awareness Week, we'll find out more about a campaign that aims to help people understand the day-to-day realities of those living with mental health challenges. That in this half hour of your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. Time now, 7:01 on your Wednesday, October 8th. Midweek already. Heading towards Thanksgiving weekend.
We were talking about that during the commercial break. What are you going to do? What are you going to eat? Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Lots to plan.
Lots to plan. Big turkey dinner.
Oh, I can't wait. I love Thanksgiving, specifically eating.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to make and clean up after the meal, but it's so much fun.
Yes, thankfully, I don't do the cooking in my house. I only make desserts.
Really?
Yeah. My husband cooks. My mom cooks. I just sit and eat.
What's your dessert?
I love making pumpkin cupcakes, really. That's
yum-a-roo.
Yeah.
Yum, yum-a-roo.
Yummy. We were talking, too, with the price of everything going up.
Yeah.
Just even trying to buy canned pumpkin puree, the price of that has just jumped over the years. So if you find a good sale.
Text us 10400.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us
I
the
was
cheapest
just saying, last weekend, I did all my Thanksgiving shopping, and the pumpkin puree was on sale.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was doing.
Add to cart.
Yeah, I'm like, might as well just get a couple.
Yummy. It's so good for you.
It's good that you bought everything early, because I have been caught, too, where I was shopping too close to the long weekend, and there's no butter left for cooking. That's a big one. Or the pumpkin puree.
That's usually what happens.
Add it to the list.
All right.
I did it early.
All right. Now, weather-wise, we are seeing a humongous change in the weather coming up.
Oh, yeah. Starting off quite warm. Going to be quite cold into Thursday's forecast.
Okay.
And we do have wet weather tracking across the region. But starting off early this morning, it's a beautiful sunny start to the day in Lunenburg. You're going to see lots of sunshine throughout your day. Only rain arriving into the evening for parts of Nova Scotia, but we are going to see wet weather early this morning as well. So keep that in mind if you are heading out specifically into the central and northern region of New Brunswick. 18 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, with 17 early this morning in Charlottetown, 16 in Halifax, 15 starting off your day in Sydney, 12 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have an air quality statement that remains in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. So keep that in mind if you are heading out in that community, seeing that reduction in local air quality. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see here that band of wet weather that's going to track across parts of New Brunswick early this morning and parts of Labrador, making its way slowly across the maritime region, bringing rain. So much needed rain, actually. Breezy winds as well today out of the southwest. As of right now, 30 kilometers per hour in Moncton, 28 kilometers per hour starting off your day in Yarmouth and St. John, New Brunswick, 26 in Grand Etang. Wind gusts will be getting up to 48 in St. John, New Brunswick, 44 in Grand Etang, with 41 into Moncton, 43 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth. We'll have a look at your rainfall totals and the long-range forecast, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. 13,000 households are on the public housing wait list in New Brunswick. The CEO of the province's housing corporation says new units are not being built nearly fast enough. The New Brunswick Housing Corporation has built 152 units since it was established 2.5 years ago and maintains more than 4,600 units. There are 110 under construction. The existing units have a 4% vacancy rate.
We won't be at zero because we always have turnover. We always have maybe water damage or whatever. So there's always a percent in there that will have a vacancy rate due to renovations, but due to turnover.
He says they have 14 inspectors, but need to hire 6 more to make the turnaround time faster between tenants. More than half on the wait list are households who've been waiting for over 2 years. The corporation's goal is to house 18,000 New Brunswick households by 2029. Nova Scotia's opposition leader says the PC government raced to wrap up the fall legislature without addressing the most pressing issues of housing and affordability. NDP leader Claudia Chender said her party introduced a pair of bills that were lost in the government's rush to wrap up the fall sitting of the legislature, which lasted just 8 days. Chender says one of the bills would have delivered on rent control, tying allowable increases to the unit, not the tenant. The other bill proposed a target of creating nearly 13,000 affordable housing units per year to address the current shortfall.
But what about families? Like, we have families all across this province who cannot find affordable places to live. They're moving, their kids are having to move all the time. They might get a 1-year lease, and now young families don't see a path to home ownership. These are the problems that we're trying to address.
The Houston government adopted a number of bills in the 8-day sitting, including an amendment that makes it easier for domestic abuse victims to modify leases after their abuser moves out. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was fired inside a home in the Moncton area. Police say they responded Sunday to a report of a shot fired inside a home on Dominion Street in Moncton. No one was hurt, and police say the woman was arrested at the scene without incident and the firearm was seized. The woman appeared in court yesterday, where she was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a loaded, prohibited firearm. Moncton's Atlantic Slam basketball tournament has been abruptly postponed. The city has announced the tourney featuring top-tier men's NCAA teams will not happen this year. 2 years ago, the event had a successful showing at the Avenir Center, but last year, a pared-down version saw just a single regular season game between Northeastern University and Connecticut. No reason was provided for the postponement. The city says all tickets will be refunded by November 2nd, and it hopes the tournament will return in 2026. Finally, an important conversation about mental health was held in Dartmouth last night. A live performance from singer Lena Grant opened up the Let's Keep Talking event at the NSCC campus Tuesday night. The keynote speaker was Caitlin Morrison, the executive director of the Matthew Perry House and loving sister of the late Canadian actor, best known for his role as Chandler on Friends.
Matthew Perry House is an extraordinary thing to be able to do. It's become my raison d'etre. And it's about giving people the ability to get help with addictions for long enough to get well, truly well in all aspects of their lives. But he struggled with what a lot of Canadians struggle with, which is he couldn't get help for as long as he needed it. And of course it ended up in a cycle that a lot of Canadians deal with, which is this revolving door of treatment. And if you don't have all the resources in the world and you have a loved one who's going through that, you know, I talk to families all the time and they're saying, how are we going to afford to pay for this? And they don't know what quality of care they're going to get. And so that's all the stuff we want to help everybody with.
Hosted by CTV's Paul Hollingsworth, the annual Bell Canada event celebrates the achievements of Nova Scotians who either live with mental illness or addiction or support those who do. And if you missed the interview, you can also catch on CTV News at 5 with Maria Panapalis with Perry's sister. You can find it on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. And it is Mental Health Awareness Week. We'll have a conversation about that also coming up in the next 30 minutes.
Looking forward to that for sure. Okay, this is a little bit of kind of news you can use. Scarecrows have taken over Charlottetown, and we have the photos to prove it. All right, here we go. The 5th annual Charlottetown Scarecrow Festival. It's in full swing with hundreds of straw-stuffed visitors. They now pop up at shops. Discover Halifax sent us these gorgeous photos. And organizers say they expect to see more than 800 scarecrows set up throughout the downtown core. Since the festival began in 2020, organizers say they've seen an uptick in visitors to the city, but a notable downturn in the number of crows.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, no, that's not true. I just made that up at the end.
That's so cool, though.
Oh, that is so cool.
Not a crow to be found. They're horrified by this.
They're like, oh my goodness. But the people flocking there.
There we go. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love the Tin Man one. This must be the Addams Family right here.
Yep. Well done. Also, look at that house in the background. Charlottetown is a great place to visit.
Oh,
so beautiful.
It is. Any time of year, but especially right now.
Yeah.
Beautiful. They just actually released on their social media page some drone footage of downtown Charlottetown. It's worth checking out online if you do follow the city. All right, still ahead, Latavia will have more details on the forecast and when we will get that rain. I'll also have your national and international news headlines, and also coming up this half hour, it is Mental Health Awareness Week. We'll look at a campaign aimed at helping people understand the reality of living with the disease. Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this. It is 7:10 on your Wednesday morning.
Welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at a dark start to the day over in Moncton. Quite warm, though, 18 degrees in your area, and we are expecting rain a little bit later on, getting around 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall from now until Thursday morning. We are going to see wet weather track across the region, and quite a warm start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. 18 degrees right now as well in Fredericton, 17 starting off your day in Charlottetown, 16 in both Halifax and Sydney, 12 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do still have an air quality statement remaining in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. Keep that in mind. We are seeing a reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. A mainly cloudy to cloudy start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. And then we do have this band of wet weather tracking across the central and northern region of New Brunswick into Labrador as well, bringing rain. And we are going to see this system slowly push its way over to parts of Prince Edward Island, parts of Nova Scotia, bringing that wet weather our way. And then into the evening hours, seeing that rainfall situating for much of Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, starting to clear out of New Brunswick, and also still seeing some wet weather for both Newfoundland and Labrador. The heaviest situated into the eastern region of Nova Scotia. So if you're wondering about rainfall totals, we're going to see around 2 to 40 millimeters for much of New Brunswick, getting around 40 to 50 for St. John, New Brunswick. For Nova Scotia, we are going to see it range from around 2 to 20 millimeters, seeing the heaviest into Amherst at 40 to 50 millimeters expected, and 10 to 30 for Prince Edward Island. We are also expecting around 2 to 20 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland, only around 2 to 5 for Labrador. For forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at some wet weather, so keep that in mind when you are heading out on your commute today. Until later this morning, rain is expected to start. Daytime highs will range from 10 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. Breezy winds yet again today out of the southwest, 30 gusting to 50. Highs between 20 to 21 for Prince Edward Island. Cloudy skies start off the day. Rain moves in into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day. Rain will arrive into the evening hours with highs between 23 to 24. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 23 degrees, cloudy skies with rain moving in into the afternoon. Newfoundland and Labrador, cloudy start to your day. A chance of flurries returns with a high pretty cool, 5 degrees in Labrador City, 20 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Sunshine throughout your day. Showers arrive into the evening. So for Wednesday's forecast into tonight, cooling down, and then Thursday morning, very cold temperatures. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to bundle up into Thursday morning as you head out. We are going to see sunshine return in our forecast for much of the Maritime region, but going to also see a chance of some isolated showers lingering for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island. Still seeing some wet weather for parts of Newfoundland. And then into Friday's forecast, much of the same expected, lots of sunshine for much of the Maritimes, but we are seeing a lingering precipitation for parts of Cape Breton. That's a look at your weather forecast. Now we'll throw things over to Amanda for your national, international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 7:16. The two main leaders of the Freedom Convoy have been sentenced by a judge in Ottawa for their role in the protests that gridlocked the capital 3 years ago. CTV's Judy Trin has more.
After being convicted of mischief, Tamara Leach and Chris Barber, the main leaders of the Freedom Convoy, arrived to hear their fate. Lawrence, what do you think will happen today? What are you hoping for?
Hoping that Tamara doesn't go to jail.
A supporter was arrested before the judge even handed down her sentence. The trial has highlighted schisms in society over vaccine mandates, but Justice Heather Perkins McVeigh said politics has no place in this court and plays no role in the determination of what is a fair, just, and appropriate sentence. For their role as organizers in the 3-week occupation of Ottawa in 2022, both Barber and Leach were given conditional sentences of 18 months. It includes 1 year under house arrest and a curfew after that. Chris Barber helped coordinate the movement of trucks and counseled others to disobey a court order.
For my client's comment, he respects the judge's decision.
Dismantling the protest cost Ottawa police $55 million. The occupation also shut down businesses and disrupted community services. But the court acknowledged both Barber and Leach did try to limit the size of the occupation. Leach had already spent 49 days in jail.
The question of was there remorse for what she did? No. She pled not guilty. She's been found guilty of mischief. We're seriously looking at appealing that finding.
Leach and Barber's legal issues are not over. Both are named in a $290 million class action lawsuit filed by the residents of Ottawa.
CTV's Judy Trin reporting from Ottawa. Finally, Toronto Blue Jays fans, they remain hopeful despite not getting the result they wanted last night.
And a swing and a high drive to deep left center. He's hit it out!
And that was toward the start of the game. The Jays fell 9-6 to the New York Yankees in Game 3 of their best-of-5 American League Division Series at Yankee Stadium. With Game 4 scheduled for tonight, Toronto can advance to the AL Championship Series for the first time since 2016 if they get that win. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, Crystal will sit down for a conversation for Mental Health Awareness Week. That is when Your Morning Atlantic returns right after this.
Welcome back at 7:22, and it is Mental Illness Awareness Week, and today we're putting the focus on better understanding the reality of mental illness. Our next guest can help us recognize the difference between a mental health struggle and a serious mental illness, and where we can turn to for help and support. Please welcome Dr. Andrew Harris, Senior Medical Director with the Nova Scotia Mental Health and Addictions Program. Good morning, Dr. Harris. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So it is Mental Illness Awareness Week. Let's talk about when we can recognize what mental illness is. So all of us have mental health struggles. When do we when does that turn into a concern with a mental illness?
So in general, mental illness is defined by the distress and dysfunction that co-occurs with it. So we can all have symptoms that from time to time of anxiety or low mood, or those things are typically part of our normal functioning. So grief reactions or worries about and stresses about employment or finances. Those are quite normal. That's part of being human. At times, though, some people get them to the extent or the severity where they impact significantly on their ability to function. And that might be in relationships or in employment or just socially being able to work in their communities.
So what are some of the more common types of mental illness that you see?
Well, in my field, because I work I'm a psychiatrist, I would be seeing people with severe mental illness, such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, things like this. But there are many people in Nova Scotia who suffer from distressing symptoms or feelings, such as anxiety or low mood, day to day. And those would be about 35% of Nova Scotians probably would be in that category, where they're not doing wonderfully well, but they're not really significantly ill or sick.
Would clinical depression fall into that area of what you're doing?
Well, depressive disorders and mood disorders are quite distinct from normal mood regulation and variation. So clinical depression would be a lay term for what we'd call a major depressive disorder or a major depressive episode. That would be something we'd want to see someone for and treat, and we'd be treated by a physician.
Well, you were telling me that you really want to let people know that help and support is available. So if anybody out there thinks that they may be struggling with a mental illness, it's important to see a professional, to reach out for help. So if somebody did reach out for help, first of all, how do they do that? And what's the likelihood that they're going to get some support?
So we have been working very, very hard in the last number of years to improve access into our services. So we have formal services within healthcare, Nova Scotia Health. You can get an appointment to talk to a clinician for an intake. We have a centralized intake service by signing up online or by calling a direct number for our central intake services. And that's for both adult and for child and adolescent in the province. So one number, you'll speak to a clinician, and what we use then is what we call is a treatment matching process. So we try to match you to the best person or provider or service or treatment local to you. We try to do with the right provider, the right time, the right place, the right person. But our response times are pretty quick. Within a day or two, you can book an appointment and talk to an intake worker. They are trained clinicians, and get started on that journey.
And what's the wait time if somebody is in crisis?
So for crisis, you can call our 24/7 crisis line. Generally, that's within about 1.5 minutes. You'll be able to get in contact with and speak to. And that crisis line is available not just for individuals, but for family members or loved ones who might want to call in and report a crisis to.
Well, Dr. Harris, this is really important information that you shared with us this morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And we have put that information on our website so that you can find that number and that crisis number as well. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Latavia.
Thank you, Crystal. We're taking a look at our 3-day forecast, starting off in New Brunswick. A cloudy start to the day with rain moving in later this morning, a high of 17 degrees. Really cooling down on Thursday with sunshine, but a high of 8. And on Friday, 12 degrees with sunny skies across the province. Nova Scotia is looking at wet weather as well later this afternoon with a high of 23. 8 degrees on Thursday, isolated showers for parts of the province. And then on Friday, looking at lots of sunshine, we do have a chance of showers remaining in Cape Breton with a high of 12. Prince Edward Island's looking at 20 degrees today. Cloudy skies starting off the day with the rain moving in this afternoon. 8 degrees on Thursday with scattered showers. Sunshine returning on Friday with a high of 12.
Just ahead in this half hour, the first Digital Inclusion Week. What's that, you ask? We'll tell you what digital inclusion is, how it impacts you and your life. That's coming up this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Come on in. We're so happy you're joining us halfway through the show, 7:31. Halfway through the show, halfway through the week. This is the very halfway point.
I know, right? It's wild.
It's like Stewiacke.
Time's flying by constantly now these days.
It is,
right?
it is. I was going to say it's like Stewiacke, halfway between the equator and the North Pole.
That's true.
I love that.
Yeah, right near Mastodon Ridge, right?
Indeed,
That was famous. We're halfway through the show. If you are just joining us at 6:45 with our friends Aaron and Peter in radio, our Move Morning Chat is there a household chore you absolutely refuse to do? Oh, this is our chat for tomorrow. Sneak peek, we're going to talk about Thanksgiving food tomorrow. But today, we're asking you, is there a household chore you absolutely refuse to do? Well, think about the Thanksgiving one.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Because that's
and
tomorrow.
I can't wait to talk about that because I love talking about food.
Yeah, tomorrow's conversation, we're talking about the food. But today, is there a household chore you absolutely refuse to do? So please send us a text at 10400. Thank you to Monica, who already sent us what she refuses to clean. I'm going to share that a little bit later in the show. But yeah, whether it's the bathroom, and it doesn't have to be cleaning.
Doesn't have to be cleaning either.
Chore, like bringing out the green bin or something.
I thought of one. Like, I do like cleaning because, you know why? I'll tell you why. Immediate sense of gratification. Like, I did this, it's improved, I feel good.
Absolutely, I'm with you.
So I do love that. I do not like to go up on a ladder and clean out the eavesdrop. I will happily take my money and do that for me.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do that.
Latavia, what's one you don't do?
I agree with you with the sink, unclogging all the hair. I tend to clog it up.
That's so gross. Like,
Whoops,
I love doing that.
Gross. Ew, it's like a little monster that comes out of it.
Exactly. It smells.
Kyle gets so upset. He's like, really, babe? I'm like, it just falls out. I don't know what to tell you.
Help it.
Yeah, no, I got lots of hair.
It's a constant struggle. The struggle
on my head.
Yeah.
Well, it looks great. It's worth it. It's worth the effort. So weather-wise today, I know it's a certain thing going on right now. Like here, oh my gosh, beautiful live eye. But it's changing. We got changes coming.
Exactly. So starting off this morning, we are going to see a cloudy start to the day. You can see that sunrise over in Brookvale. No skiing today, though. We do have wet weather on its way. So we are going to see periods of rain track across parts of the region, but another warm start to the day. Enjoy that because temperatures will be changing a little bit later on. 18 degrees right now, though, in Fredericton, 17 starting off your day in Charlottetown with 16 in both Halifax and Sydney, 12 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Air quality statements remain in effect for both Kings and Annapolis counties. Keep that in mind. We are still seeing that reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. Over to our satellite and radar, a bit of a cloudy start to the day for much of the region. We have this low tracking across the region, bringing a band of rain across much of Atlantic Canada throughout the day today. So keep that in mind as you head out on your commute. Bring your rain gear with you. Breezy winds today for the Maritimes as well. As of right now, sustained wind of 33 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick. 30 into Moncton, 28 in Halifax, and also into North Cape. Wind gusts right now getting up to 48 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick, 43 in North Cape, as well as Grand Etang, 35 in Sydney. I'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 7:34. The trial of a former Halifax bar bouncer who is accused of choking a man to death on Christmas Eve of 2022 continues today. The cousin of the victim, Ryan Sawyer, delivered emotional testimony yesterday, recounting what she saw that night. Alexander Levy is on trial for manslaughter and criminal negligence causing death. The incident unfolded at the former Halifax Ale House. Levy was head of security at the time. Testimony continues today. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was fired inside a home in Moncton. Police say they responded Sunday to a report of a shot fired inside a home on Dominion Street. No one was hurt, and police say the woman was arrested at the scene without incident and the firearm was seized. The woman appeared in court yesterday, where she was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a loaded prohibited firearm. A group of business owners, property managers and landlords in Moncton have formed a coalition demanding all 3 levels of government take action on crime in the downtown area.
I get broken windows all over the place, and I got graffiti, and I got garbage strewn everywhere. That's not fair. You know, we're citizens. We deserve to be safe.
To just wave your hand and say, oh, it's a big city and this is what happens in big cities, it's not. And it's not acceptable. And regardless of what's happening everywhere else, this is our city.
The coalition is called Enough is Enough. The group is demanding a zero-tolerance approach to crime. No one from the city of Moncton was available for an interview, but a spokesperson tells CTV News they are aware of the coalition and they expect a meeting later this week. The city says it has met with provincial government ministers on a regular basis to express its concerns. You can add property tax bills to the growing list of things being impacted by the postal strike. The Cape Breton Regional Municipality has announced that final 2025 property tax bills have been issued, but due to the Canada Post strike, they are asking people to visit the CBRM website to check their balance. However, it's not necessarily an easy adjustment for some, especially seniors.
People of our age aren't really up on the communications with the internet.
Generally, we do a lot of our billing for tax and water bills, which is a big part of City Hall business, through the mail.
The CBRM adds online billing will likely soon be the norm. For now, people can check their balance by calling 311 and then come into City Hall to pay it or do it through online banking. Property tax payments are due by November 4th. In Nova Scotia, financial support is being offered to people who have been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. More than 350 properties have been evacuated in the area near Aylesford. The amount paid out by the province depends on how long the person has been out of their home, with a maximum set at $3,000 per adult and $1,700 for each minor. This applies only to people who've had to leave their primary residence. Applications, they open today. And the money will be available until the evacuation order is lifted or until the wildfire season is considered over. That's on October 31st, whichever comes first. A new care unit is taking shape in St. John. Once it's completed, the facility will offer the city's unhoused a safe place to recover following a trip to the hospital. Officials say it's a need that's greater than ever.
We've seen a lot of individuals who just go from hospital to the street, back to the hospital to the street, sometimes worse than that. And so when we have some place like this where it's your own comfortable home to be, you know, it's a small project, but we hope we're able to scale this and repeat it.
Anyone who's ever been in the hospital, you know when you leave, there's an expectation of continued healing at home. But if you have no home to go to, how can we do that? So I think this will be imperative in creating a healthier environment for everyone.
Officials hope the site is ready to welcome its first tenants by early next year. The fall foliage around here stunning right now. Please send us your photos at 10400. You can text us. We're going to show you now some vibrant fall foliage from the view of a hot air balloon. Yeah, this is a lucky sightseeing group floating above Vermont's beautiful canopies as the fall colors are lit up by the bright sunshine. It is simply gorgeous. Around here, we still have cruise ships arriving. A lot of those visitors from the U.S. and other parts loving to be in the region this time of year to see the fall foliage. Stunning right now. Though they are in a bit of a shock when it comes to the weather because it's been so warm.
It's been warm.
Yeah, as Octavia said, we got a change coming.
Ooh, it's going to be cold.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
You can break out the fall sweater weather
Exactly.
Fall
This
fashion.
is the stuff of dreams.
It really
the
is.
foliage that we have in our region. It reminds me of parts of, oh my gosh, I can't remember where it is in the States that's really known for their foliage.
Like other parts
I can't remember,
of New
but
England.
yes, New England. The photos from there, it's like, this is even better.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to text us your photos. We would love to see them. 10400 is the number.
All right, let's look a little higher up into space. We're going to talk about engineers working on satellites that fly themselves. Yes, a UK company is developing an AI-powered satellite that can dock, refuel, and repair itself without any help from humans. It's kind of like, I liken it to like a Roomba, like a satellite Roomba. When something goes wrong in space, although I don't think a Roomba can repair itself. In any case, satellite things like they work our phones, internet, they can affect a lot of things that happen here on Earth. So self-flying satellites can keep everything working more smoothly without having to build out more infrastructure.
I thought I loved my Roomba, but boy, we call him Mo. He needs help a lot.
Oh my gosh, right? Mine is Jeffrey, and he's such a lazy man.
Well, these satellites are a little better than your Roomba, but same kind of idea.
Yeah.
Oh no, the bin's full.
I'm
no,
so
the bin is not
glad
full.
you said that. So I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, no, the bin is never really full. I gotta go with the hand vacuum. Anyways, text us your chore.
Your Roomba struggles.
The Roomba struggles.
All right, let's give away some money right now, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
$50,000. The word is treat today. So you go to our website or you go to the QR code that's going to pop up on the screen any second now. Treat is the word. All you have to do, plug that in. You got a chance to win 20 grand. Tune in again tomorrow for the brand new code word, brand new chance to win. Good luck to you.
Treat yourself.
Love it.
All right, we're going to have another break on this Wednesday. Still more to come. Latavia will have the latest look at the forecast. I'll have health and medical news. Also, we're going digital. It is the inaugural Digital Inclusion Week in Nova Scotia. We'll look at what that is and why it's important. Please stay with us. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back.
Welcome back and happy Wednesday. The time now is 7:45. We're taking a live look at a beautiful start to the day over in Tangier. Currently 15 degrees, seeing a bit of sunshine early this morning before increasing cloudiness, and late into the afternoon expecting periods of rain to move in. It's quite a nice start to the day. We are going to see warm temperatures early this morning. 18 degrees already as you head outdoors in Fredericton and in Moncton. 17 starting off your day in Charlottetown with 16 in both Halifax and Sydney. 3 degrees. So much cooler over in Labrador City. We do still have air quality statements in effect for Kings and Annapolis counties, still seeing a reduction in local air quality due to wildfire smoke. Something to keep in mind if you are headed out in that community today. Over to our forecast timeline, a bit of a cloudy start to the day for much of the region. We are going to see sunshine early this morning for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, sticking around into the afternoon as well. And we have this low tracking across parts of Atlantic Canada. You can see this band of green. We are going to see periods of rain starting off in the central and northern region of New Brunswick. Also seeing precipitation starting off for parts of Labrador. Then into the afternoon, we're going to start to see precipitation arrive in parts of Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, taking us into the evening where we start to see precipitation move in for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. The heaviest of that rainfall situated in eastern Nova Scotia as well. We'll take a look at those totals. You can see starting off the heaviest for New Brunswick at around 2 to 50 millimeters, the heaviest into St. John, and looking at around 40 to 50 millimeters of rainfall for Amherst, around 10 to 30 for Prince Edward Island. Also going to see around 2 to 20 millimeters of rainfall for Newfoundland, and for Labrador only getting around 2 to 5. For forecast today for New Brunswick, temperatures ranging from 10 to 19 degrees being the warmest into Moncton. Cloudy start to your day, rain moves in later this morning, and over to Prince Edward Island, highs ranging from 20 to 21. A cloudy start to your day as well, seeing rain arrive into the afternoon. For Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine throughout your day. Rain will arrive into the evening with highs between 23 to 24. But for the rest of Nova Scotia, seeing rain a little bit later this morning with a high of 23 degrees. For Newfoundland and Labrador, looking at a cloudy start to your day, a chance of flurries into the afternoon with a high of 5 degrees over in Labrador City, 20 into St. John's, lots of sunshine throughout your day, showers into the evening. So for forecast on Thursday, it's cooling down. It's going to be quite cold, so you're going to want to layer up before heading out. We are going to see sunshine for much of the Maritime region, but also going to see some lingering showers for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. Also going to see precipitation move in for parts of Newfoundland. Friday's forecast, much of the same, some lingering showers for parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Other than that, lots of sunshine and still cooler temperatures, Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It is now 7:48. Now, you may not know that Nova Scotia is leading the way for digital inclusion in our country. And in a nutshell, that means making access to the internet widely available to everyone, regardless of geography or circumstance. And this week, we mark the very first Digital Inclusion Week in Nova Scotia, the first province to make such a designation. And this represents a significant step forward in making sure that no one gets left behind in our increasingly digital world. So here to tell us more is Matt Spurway, Chief Development Officer of Geo Nova Scotia, and Jill Balzer, the NS Minister of Cybersecurity and Digital Solutions. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Very exciting. This is exciting. And people at home may not realize digital inclusion, what the high heck is that? But it really is so relevant. So you're going to be making a proclamation today at the forum, which is about digital inclusion.
Yes,
First of all, in your to your mind, what does digital inclusion mean?
I think you hit it so perfectly just in the opening remarks, and it really does highlight the need for citizens of our province, but of course of our country, as we're moving into a digital era, to feel a part of that transformation. So whether it's accessing to technology or devices in your hand that you can use to be connected online, but it's also the education, the awareness, and the empowerment around how we can move through this transformation together. So it means so much to so many people, and I think, again, for organizations like Geo, we all have a part to play in making sure that everyone is included in digital inclusion and digital transformation.
For sure. So Matt, you started Geo like just a few years ago, but out of need. It's really, really grown. I wish we had time for a full feature film on this, because it's amazing how you've taken it from just something so small to something that just keeps on growing. But Nova Scotians, many of them were, and maybe still are, facing barriers to digital inclusion. What barriers are they facing?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't have an internet connection at home. They might not have a mobile plan. They might not have the devices, the computers and the smartphones. And people might not have the basic skills to use them confidently and safely. And if you don't have all three of those things, you are excluded now from the digital world that most of us are living and working and learning in. So, you know, it's really important that we work with not only the government, but the private sectors. There's a lot of great businesses in Nova Scotia who are part of this too, like Eastlink and IMP, and we all work together to make sure that people have what they need.
Yeah, so Geo Nova Scotia works on basically bringing people together to make sure that Nova Scotians have all the things you talked about, the devices, the skills, and then, of course, the Wi-Fi connection. So you're going to be making the announcement just to kick off the forum today. Many, many partners will be there today. Can you give us an example of one of the partners that is making a difference for Nova Scotians?
Oh, goodness. Well, I know Geo is definitely an extraordinary partner, but Digital Nova Scotia and some of the private sector partners, we have a panel later on today where there's going to be post-secondary representation. And I think that that's really the essence of this conversation too, is to make sure that everyone understands their role and what they can contribute. Because as Matt said, it's not just one organization that's responsible for digital inclusion for the whole entire province. It's the private sector, it's the nonprofit sector, it's government. It's all coming together to make sure that we are contributing in the best way possible so that citizens of our province see themselves again in that digital transformation.
We've only got 20 seconds left. Maybe give us example of somebody, maybe I don't want to give away that the last year's award winners, maybe somebody who won an award to show like this is making a difference.
Yeah, probably one of the things that touches us the most is supporting women fleeing from gender-based violence. Providing them with a smartphone and a phone plan of their own is a lifeline, and that's one of our programs and one that we really feel very special about.
For sure. Well, you can find out so much more about digital inclusion by checking out your website, which we put on ours to make it easy to find. Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
And now we're going to turn our attention over to Amanda with Health News.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Health and medical news now, and a new report shows preventable harm continues to be a significant issue in Canadian hospitals, affecting thousands of patients and adding pressure to the healthcare system. It is one of the topics in Your Health.
The data from the Hospital Harm Project suggests that between 2024 and 2025, 1 in 17 acute care hospital stays involved at least one harmful event. In a quarter of those cases, patients experienced more than one. The report tracks 31 types of harm, including infections, post-surgical complications, medication errors, and pressure injuries. Patients who experience harm stay in hospital almost 5 times longer, and their care costs more than 4 times as much. While overall harm rates have stabilized, researchers with the Canadian Institute for Health Information say that progress has plateaued. Finally, a new unpublished study finds that drinking just 1 can of Diet Pop a day may boost the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by 60%. International researchers also noted that drinking a sugary beverage could raise that risk by 50%. NAFLD is a condition that causes fat to build up in the liver of people who drink little to no alcohol. The damage can resemble that of a heavy drinker of alcohol and lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer. A summary of the research showed that drinking diet beverages was linked to a higher risk of dying from liver disease. Participants who substituted water reduced their risk by nearly 13%.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the milestones. I'm lost. Okay.
The Maritimers
Yes,
working milestones
thank you.
today.
All right, so we're going to start off with a 60th anniversary for Gary and Marge Purcell. Happy anniversary.
60 years together. Congratulations. That is definitely cake worthy. And it's a 60th anniversary for Bob and Carol Corbett of Amherst.
Happy
Fantastic.
anniversary.
Happy anniversary to still in love 6 decades later.
Incredible. And to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit the website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
All right, well, speaking of milestones, just moments before going live, a CTV News team in Victoria witnessed a milestone in the making.
Yep, CTV's Adam Sawatsky has a surprise proposal caught on camera.
They were seconds away from broadcasting live.
Yeah.
Rob in front of the camera, Orlando behind.
What's that?
When reporting on the first story in the newscast,
Kevin striking public service workers
led to happening upon this last one.
But we have an engagement going on in front of me.
But Ella Van Enter didn't know that yet. She just thought she was visiting Victoria to show her boyfriend, Alex Benton, the BC Parliament buildings, one of her favorite places growing up.
And all of my best memories are here.
And over the past 2 years they've been dating, all Alex's best memories are with Ella. So he enlisted her sister and aunt to help with a surprise proposal here.
When she met him, it was like instant. He hasn't even ever seen her disability.
Ella has cerebral palsy. And while Alex fell in love with her sitting in a wheelchair, he recalled her saying she'd never want to get engaged in one. So he secretly arranged for Ella to be able to sit in a clear chair for his proposal, framed by flowers.
Took me completely by surprise. I was not expecting this at all.
Well, Rob and Orlando weren't expecting it either.
Orlando, 10 seconds there, everybody.
But they do know a thing or two about covering breaking news.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
So they juggled between broadcasting opposing political sides saying no.
What's that?
And capturing an exuberant Ella saying yes.
She said yes.
The whole thing is so surreal. Like, I actually can't even believe this is happening right now.
I feel amazing. Yeah, I'm so happy that she's happy and that she was surprised. That was a big goal of mine.
While the goal of journalists is to ask the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, the most important part of this story is how these fiancés answered why.
I mean, I love you. That's pretty much all that needs to be said, I think.
Congrats.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
It's Wednesday, October 8th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, financial support is being offered to people who've been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. Your top news headlines just ahead.
On weekend fun, keep the kids entertained this Thanksgiving weekend. DIY contributor Denise Wild will share her craft ideas and hosting tips. That's this half hour on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning. It is 8:01. Thank you so much. If you're just joining us, welcome. And if you've been sticking around for the past 2 hours, we are grateful that you have stuck around with us. We've been talking about the Move Morning Chat too. What is a household chore that you refuse to do, or maybe you have to do, but really you avoid doing it as much as you can because you don't like it?
Yes.
There is still time to send us a text at 10400, and then we'll share your answers later on in the show. The thing that you were like, no way, no how, not going to do it.
You know what's a new thing in our household?
What?
My children like to throw their milk out of their bottles.
Oh, no.
So it's getting all over the walls.
Oh, my God.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Sticky.
That's okay.
So gross and stinky. Yeah.
It smells bad if you don't get it right away. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. When stuff spilled. I hate cleaning up spills. It's like, oh, man.
You got to stop what you're doing, get down, take care of it. But what if you discover a spill, like, after it's happened?
Like after it's all dried up and hard to get to. Oh yeah, that's why magic erasers.
We've had that like on our bed because like the baby will like spill milk. And we're like, what's that smell? Did they take a number 2? We're like, no, it's the milk on the bed.
The realities of boys.
Well, if you need,
I know that's TMI, but
well, you know what? It's life. People love the glimpse behind the curtain. Yeah. If you want something beautiful, you got to go to Peggy's Cove.
Yeah, get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Fresh breeze after you've cleaned those sheets.
Latavia.
Clearly, I'm unhinged today. All right, we're going to take a look at Peggy's Cove. You can see a beautiful start to the day. The calm before the storm. We are expecting a low to travel across the maritime region and extending into the forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador a little bit later on. So be prepared for wet weather. It is a warm start to the day for much of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, 18 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton. 17 in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, 16 in Sydney, 12 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland, and 3 degrees starting off your day in Labrador City. Air quality statements remain in effect for Kings and Annapolis counties due to wildfire smoke, seeing a reduction in local air quality. Over to our satellite and radar. We are seeing sunshine early this morning for parts of Newfoundland as well as Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia. But for the most part, seeing mainly cloudy to cloudy skies with that low starting off in parts of New Brunswick and into Labrador. So bringing rain across the region today. Over to the wind for the maritime region is going to be another breezy day ahead out of the southwest, 33 kilometers per hour right now in St. John, New Brunswick, 30 into Moncton with 31 starting off your day in Grand Manan, 28 into North Cape. We do have wind gusts to notify you of, getting up to 48 kilometers per hour right now in St. John, 44 in Grand Manan with 43 in North Cape and Grand Etang. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 8:04. In Nova Scotia, financial support is being offered to people who've been forced to evacuate their homes because of the Lake George wildfire. More than 350 properties have been evacuated in the area near Aylesford. The amount paid out by the province depends on how long the person has been out of their home, with a maximum set at $3,000 per adult and $1,700 for each minor. This applies only to people who've had to leave their primary residences. Applications open today. The money will be available until the evacuation order is lifted or until the wildfire season is considered over on October 31st, whichever comes first. Now, as of yesterday, the Lake George blaze was about 2.9 square kilometers in size. Nova Scotia's opposition leader says the PC government raced to wrap up the fall legislature without addressing the most pressing issues of housing and affordability. NDP leader Claudia Gender said her party introduced a pair of bills that were lost in the government's rush to wrap up the fall sitting, which lasted just 8 days. Gender says one of the bills would have delivered on rent control, tying allowable increases to the unit, not the tenant. The other bill proposed a target of creating nearly 13,000 affordable housing units per year to address the current shortfall.
But what about families? Like, we have families all across this province who cannot find affordable places to live. They're moving, their kids are having to move all the time. They might get a one-year lease, and now young families don't see a path to home ownership. These are the problems that we're trying to address.
The Houston government adopted a number of bills in the 8-day sitting, including an amendment that makes it easier for domestic abuse survivors to modify leases after their abuser moves out. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was fired inside a home in the Moncton area. Police say they responded Sunday to a report of a shot fired inside a home on Dominion Street. No one was hurt, and police say the woman was arrested at the scene without incident and the firearm was seized. The woman appeared in court yesterday, where she was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a loaded, prohibited firearm. Moncton's Atlantic Slam basketball tournament has been abruptly postponed. The city has announced the tourney featuring top-tier men's NCAA teams will not happen this year. 2 years ago, the event had a successful showing at the Avenir Center, but last year, a pared-down version saw just a single regular season game between Northeastern University and Connecticut. No reason was provided for the postponement. The city says all tickets will be refunded by November 2nd, and it hopes the tournament will return in 2026. Finally, an important conversation about mental health was held in Dartmouth last night. A live performance from singer Atlanta Grant opened up the Let's Keep Talking event at the NSCC campus Tuesday night. The keynote speaker was Caitlin Morrison, the executive director of the Matthew Perry House and loving sister of the late Canadian actor, best known for his role as Chandler on Friends.
Matthew Perry House is an extraordinary thing to be able to do. It's become my raison d'etre. And it's about giving people the ability to get help with addictions for long enough to get well, truly well in all aspects of their lives. But he struggled with what a lot of Canadians struggle with, which is he couldn't get help for as long as he needed it. And of course it ended up in a cycle that a lot of Canadians deal with, which is this revolving door of treatment. And if you don't have all the resources in the world and you have a loved one who's going through that, you know, I talk to families all the time and they're saying, how are we going to afford to pay for this? And they don't know what quality of care they're going to get. And so that's all the stuff we want to help everybody with.
And it was hosted by CTV's Paul Hollingsworth. The annual Bell Canada event celebrates the achievements of Nova Scotians who either live with mental illness or addiction or support those who do. And a reminder, you can view Maria Panapalis's interview with Caitlin Morrison on our website, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. That aired last night on CTV News at 5. But if you missed it, that's where you can go. It's a beautiful conversation.
It is a beautiful conversation, yeah. Okay, let's move on now to travel. I know that we have talked a lot with the viewers about travel. It's on the bucket list. One of our viewers said that they had Egypt on their bucket list. Well, when you go, check out this book market. It's new and improved. So this is in Cairo. It recently got a major glow up with these beautiful wooden kiosks. Now, it's been operating since 1907, but sellers used to just lay their books and wares on blankets on the ground. But now, thanks to this new design, which was chosen via student competition, it's part of a wider plan to revive this area of the city. So I think you would love this, Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
Right up your alley.
What a dream. It's beautiful. You never leave. Get a cup of coffee or tea, walk around there. Oh my gosh, that's fun.
So the next time you're in Cairo, check that out.
Something you can see, grab a book. Add that to the luggage for the way home.
It's heavy, but you can at least read it on the plane.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is a look at our news, weather, and a chat, and we're going to head now to a little bit of a break on this Wednesday.
Coming up, I'll have a look at your national news headlines. Latavia has the forecast, and also later this half hour, our friend Denise Weil will join us with some Thanksgiving essentials from the mantle to the table. Denise Weil will share her one-stop shop for Thanksgiving decor. That plus crafts. That's coming up this half hour.
Beautiful sunny start to your day over in Burnt Coat Head. Welcome back. The time now is 8:13. 17 degrees starting off your day, so quite a warm start to the day for much of the region. We are going to see above seasonal daytime highs yet again, and precipitation starting to move through parts of the region as well. So early this morning, 18 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 19 in Moncton, 17 degrees early this morning for both Charlottetown and in Halifax, 16 in Sydney, 13 into St. John's. Air quality statements remain in effect today for Kings and Annapolis counties. Keep that in mind if you are heading out in those communities. Due to wildfire smoke, seeing a reduction in local air quality. Now, we do have a bit of sunshine early this morning for parts of Nova Scotia as well as Newfoundland, but we do also have a cloudy start to the day and seeing precipitation track across parts of the region. So this band of rain is moving in for parts of New Brunswick as well as parts of Labrador early this morning, and will make its way across parts of Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia into the afternoon. And then into the evening, spreading across Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, slowly clearing out of New Brunswick. We are going to see rain at the heaviest for parts of eastern Nova Scotia, and that takes us into early Thursday morning, where we see that precipitation continue to clear out. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we're looking at around 2 to 50 millimeters for New Brunswick, 10 to 30 for Prince Edward Island, seeing the heaviest around 40 to 50 millimeters of rainfall for Amherst. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, only 2 to 5 millimeters expected for Labrador, and for Newfoundland, looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters of precipitation. So for forecast today for New Brunswick, a cloudy start to the day. Rain moves in later this morning. Daytime highs between 10 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. And for Prince Edward Island, daytime highs will range from 20 to 21 degrees. A cloudy start to the day as well. Rain arriving into the afternoon. And then for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, seeing lots of sunshine throughout your day. Rain into the evening with highs between 23 to 24 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 23. Also seeing a cloudy start to the day. Rain moves in later this morning as well. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, a high of 5 degrees today for Labrador City. Cloudy skies start off your day. A chance of some flurries expected into the afternoon. A high of 20 degrees for St. John's and lots of sunshine throughout your day. Showers arriving into the evening. For our forecast on Thursday, it's cooling down, so keep that in mind when you are going to head out Thursday morning. It's going to be quite cold even for our daytime highs. Lots of sunshine returns for much of the maritime region, though, but we do have some lingering isolated showers, scattered showers as well for parts of Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island. Also seeing precipitation track across parts of Newfoundland, with sunshine returning on Friday. Still some lingering showers for parts of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 8:15. Prime Minister Mark Carney flies back to Ottawa later this morning after a high-stakes meeting in Washington yesterday. U.S. President Donald Trump expressed a shift in tone towards Canada during a critical sit-down with the Prime Minister at the White House. But it wasn't enough to get any resolution on tariffs and trade. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
With a firm but friendly handshake, Prime Minister Mark Carney arrived at the White House for his working lunch with U.S. President Donald Trump.
I think they're going to be very happy. We have a lot of things that we're working on.
In a 32-minute Oval Office meeting, Trump called Carney a great man several times, adding he's confident they'd work through the issues preventing a deal on tariffs.
He's a world-class leader. He's a man that knows what he wants. And I'm not surprised to see that he won the election and won it substantially. And I would think he's more popular now. He's a good man. He does a great job, and he's a tough negotiator.
If he's a great man and you want to do a deal with Canada, why aren't you?
Because I want to be a great man, too.
Trump says the two countries are in a natural business conflict because Canada and the U.S. want to make similar things on both sides of the border.
It's a tough situation because we want to make our cars here. At the same time, we want Canada to do well making cars. So we're working on formulas, and I think we'll get there.
Carney said the two countries are competing, not in conflict.
We are the largest foreign investor in the United States. $500 billion in the last 5 years alone, probably $8 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement that we expect to get.
Following the meeting, the minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade updated reporters on how it went.
It concluded with the president and the prime minister directing us, me and my colleagues and the president, his cabinet secretaries who were there, Ambassador Greer, Secretary Lutnick, and others to continue the conversation and to quickly land deals that will bring, we think, greater certainty in areas where the principal areas would be steel and aluminum and energy.
CTV's Mike Locatour reporting in Washington. Finally, Toronto Blue Jays fans remain hopeful despite not getting the result they wanted last night.
And a swing and a high drive to deep left center. He's hit it out!
Hopes were high at the beginning of the game. The Jays ended up falling 9-6 to the New York Yankees in Game 3 of their best-of-5 American League Division Series at Yankee Stadium. With Game 4 scheduled for tonight, Toronto can advance to the AL Championship Series for the first time since 2016. That's if they get that win. Coming up in your 8:30 news, we'll talk about the start of the NHL season as well. But for now, a quick break on your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have your 20K giveaway word of the day, plus some Thanksgiving tips from Denise Wild. That's coming up.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
We're going to take a look at our midweek forecast. For New Brunswick, cloudy skies early this morning. Then we have rain moving across the province. A high of 17 degrees, really cooling down into the overnight tonight, a low of 2. Thursday, we're looking at 8 degrees. Lots of sunshine returns across the province, a low of 0. And then on Friday, warming up just a bit, 12 degrees and a low of 2. Lots of sunshine across the province. Nova Scotia will see wet weather as well today. So starting off quite cloudy, but for Cape Breton Island, seeing lots of sunshine throughout the day, rain arriving into the evening. For the rest of the province, seeing rain into the afternoon. 23 degrees is your daytime high, cooling down to 8 degrees. Thursday, we're looking at 8 degrees for your daytime high, so quite a cold day ahead. We are going to see some isolated showers for parts of the province, low of 2. And then on Friday, sunshine returns for mainland Nova Scotia as well as the Tri-County area. But for Cape Breton Island, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, still going to see some isolated showers, a low of 6 degrees. Prince Edward Island, so you're going to see a cloudy start to the day, rain into the afternoon, a high of 20 degrees, really cooling down into the overnight hours across the island with a low of 8. On Thursday, a high of only 8 degrees, scattered showers throughout the day with a low of 6. And then on Friday, we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 12 and a low of 7.
It's 8:24, and next we're going to meet a singer-songwriter from Newfoundland who has a brand new album coming out on October 10th. It's called What Hasn't Killed Me. What a title. We're very excited to introduce Rachel Cousins, and we have her in studio this morning. So Rachel, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, your hair is fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Love
it.
to meet another ginger.
Yeah, I know, right?
So let's talk about the album. What Hasn't Killed Me. That's a stunning title. Why did you call it that?
I honestly just feel like it's a compilation of all the things that I've gotten through or that I feel like I've come on top of in the past year of my life even, and it does feel like a lot of these things just haven't killed me, and therefore I get to write about them and talk about them.
Do you feel stronger?
I do, yeah, I feel stronger. I think more than anything I feel more brave, and I feel more capable of doing things scared or doing things worried. That's kind of what this whole process has done for me.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so the album is coming out on October 10th. What are the plans for the release?
So we had a great listening party. It was very intimate, and we just had a bunch of supporters that have supported my career this whole time listen to the whole album, just play through back to back. So that was really special. I have a full show on the 17th, so I'll be performing the whole album with a band at the Black Sheep, which is where I have a weekly residence. I play once a week in St. John's, where I live. So yeah, once we do that, I really hope to just like get aboard the car and take it across the island and do some small venues, do a little tour that way. I think that'd be really nice, and I think it would serve the album well, and that's what we have planned right now.
So let's talk about the creation of the album. I understand your sound took a little bit of a different direction for this album, a little bit different musically for you. Why did you decide to pivot slightly in your style?
It's funny, I feel like it just happened sort of naturally, and I have said that this album it wrote itself in a way, and I think that naturally as an artist, your music grows with you as a person and through the things that you experience and what you learn. And I think that my music just sort of did it naturally. I kind of ran into a bit of like imposter syndrome, which a lot of artists sort of experience at some point in their career, and I just knew that my music wanted to go somewhere different naturally, and this is just kind of what fell out.
All right, you worked with a producer who has worked with the likes of Taylor Swift and other names that our viewers might recognize. Okay, tell us who it was and how did that go?
Yeah, so I'm working with Greg Wells right now, who most notably is just finishing the Wicked movies. He's doing the soundtrack for these. Multiple Grammy Award winning. He's truly a wonderful man, and I met him because he came to Newfoundland and he has roots connecting back to Newfoundland. His family's from there, and he is refacing a church out there and has a whole studio in it. So long story short, I signed with the record label that he started out in Trinity Hall in Winterton, and it just kind of grew from there, and we made some albums, or made an album together, and it's really special, and he's wonderful. Yeah.
What the things that came together to make that possible? That's incredible.
I know, yeah.
What do you think? Like working with him, obviously he's got so much experience. Like how did that change you and your music?
I mean, honestly, he was somebody that did so much for me, just like as an artist and as a person. He taught me a lot about approaching things from play instead of approaching them with so much judgment. Especially as an artist, that's really something that I find hard, but I know that the editor is not always a part of the author's process when it comes to writing a book, so I don't know why as a singer-songwriter we treat it any different. So Greg was really huge in playing that for me. Just approach it from play and just do what feels right and do what feels good, and the best things will come out of that, and that's honestly just kind of what happened with this album.
Wow, that's sort of great advice for life.
For sure, 100%.
Wow. All right, so you're in our region right now. Is there any way we can see you or support you?
Yeah, well, all my social media is Rachel Cousins Music. My website is rachelcousinsmusic.com. I'm going to have a whole bunch of new merch and new logos, and I'm really excited just to be able to put everything up on the website, and you can follow my story and everything else on my social media. You can find everything there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in and spending some time with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We put all of Rachel's information on our website to make it easy for you to find. We'll take a little break and be back with more Your Morning Atlantic right after this. Who knows?
Hey, good morning. Lower Truro, Nova Scotia. Some cloud cover to start the day, but as you can see, the water is calm on the Boar. Latavia will have her last look at the forecast coming up in the last 30 minutes of Your Morning Atlantic.
Hello.
That's us fixing the audio. Yeah. Bye. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Remember us when you're super famous, Rachel.
That's so cool. She's working with songwriters from the likes of...
Right?
From the likes of Wicked.
Oh, we're live. We're on air.
Yeah, we are live.
I did not realize we were on air.
Absolutely.
Well, that's hilarious. Well, there you go. A little snippet of what's like behind the curtain here. So what you see is what you get here on Your Morning Atlantic.
Listen, sometimes we have some technical difficulties, but that's all right. It was still nice to talk to her, too. The fact that she's worked with the likes of producers who've worked with Taylor Swift and on the Wicked soundtrack.
Oh, Wicked.
I know. I thought you'd be very impressed with that.
Oh, I was.
She's definitely, her star is rising quickly, and we're so grateful she was able to make some time for us today. We got a 1/2 hour left of this show. Yeah. So if you're just joining us, you are going to want to pay attention to Latavia's weather. Different story this morning. Well, I guess it's the same story-ish this morning, but things are changing.
Absolutely. So we are seeing kind of a calm before the storm, some sunshine in our forecast, a bit cloudier for other parts of the region, and a warm start to the day. It's going to cool down. And not only is it going to cool down into Thursday, we're also seeing wet weather.
Take that laundry off the line if you had it out there drying in the sun.
Exactly, and prepare for that wet weather heading your way, because we're going to see it track across the Maritime region slowly but surely throughout the day today. So we're going to take a live look at St. John's, Newfoundland. Starting off cloudy this morning. We are going to see 13 degrees early this morning in your area. Still going to see above seasonal daytime highs for today, and then temperatures dropping into the overnight hours tonight. But as of right now, it is 18 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 17 in both Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 16 in Sydney. Over to the air quality statements that remain in effect today for Kings and Annapolis counties. Due to wildfire smoke, still seeing a reduction in local air quality. Over to our satellite and radar. Seeing sunshine for parts of Cape Breton Island, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, and parts of Newfoundland early this morning. And then a cloudier start to the day for much of the region with that band of rain moving across parts of New Brunswick early this morning and Labrador before making its way across the rest of Atlantic Canada. In terms of the wind, it is going to be another breezy day ahead out of the southwest this morning. 30 kilometers per hour in St. John, New Brunswick, as well as Yarmouth. 28 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, with 26 into North Cape, 24 into Charlottetown. We do have wind gusts to notify you of, currently getting up to 52 in Halifax, 43 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, as well as St. John, New Brunswick, and Yarmouth, 37 in North Cape. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your local news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Time is 8:33. The trial of a former Halifax bar bouncer who is accused of choking a man to death on Christmas Eve of 2022 continues today. The cousin of the victim, Ryan Sawyer, delivered emotional testimony yesterday recounting what she saw that night. Alexander Levy is on trial for manslaughter and criminal negligence causing death. The incident unfolded at the former Halifax Ale House. Levy was head of security at the time. Testimony continues today. RCMP say a 39-year-old New Brunswick woman faces firearms charges after a weapon was fired inside a home in the Moncton area. Police say they responded Sunday to a report of a shot fired inside a home on Dominion Street. No one was hurt, and police say the woman was arrested at the scene without incident and the firearm was seized. The woman appeared in court yesterday, where she was charged with reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a loaded, prohibited firearm. You can add property tax bills to the growing list of things being impacted by the postal strike. The Cape Breton Regional Municipality has announced that final 2025 property tax bills have been issued, but due to the Canada Post strike, they are asking people to visit the CBRM website to check their balance. However, it's not necessarily an easy adjustment for some, especially seniors.
People of our age aren't really up on the communications with the internet.
Generally, we do a lot of our billing for tax and water bills, which is a big part of City Hall business, through the mail.
The CBRM adds online billing will likely soon be the norm. For now, people can also check their balance by calling 311 and then come into City Hall to pay their bill in person or do it through online banking. Property tax payments are due by November 4th. Four Canadian teams open their NHL regular seasons tonight in head-to-head matchups. The Toronto Maple Leafs host the Montreal Canadiens, while the Calgary Flames visit the Edmonton Oilers. For more on this, we're joined by CTV's Scott Hurst. Scott, it's been quite the summer for Canadian sports as the Jays wrap up their historic season. What does the excitement for Canadian teams on the ice look like heading into this new season?
Good morning, Amanda, and hopefully the Jays, despite what happened last night, can keep their season going. Now, there's always this beautiful crossover for sports fans in the spring and fall where, of course, there's the anticipation of one season just getting underway and another kicking into high gear, playoff baseball. But let's focus on the hopes and dreams of Canadian hockey fans from coast to coast as the NHL season is already underway. And even before any of the Canadian teams have hit the ice, we've seen a banner being raised. Of course, the Florida Panthers going back-to-back, and we've seen some players already drop the gloves as well. So, you know, hockey season is already into high gear. And as you mentioned, tonight, some classic Canadian matchups between Toronto and Montreal. There's also the Battle of Alberta, and if you're a fan of any of the other Canadian sports teams, Canadian hockey teams, excuse me, you'll have another sleep to get to your team being on the ice. But it is always a great time of year, Amanda, when hockey gets underway, playoff baseball is well underway, and of course, hey, basketball season just around the corner as well.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to watch. There's also been quite a few changes for some of Canada's teams going into this season. So what should we be watching out for?
Yeah, well, let's start off in Edmonton, a collective sigh of relief from fans everywhere in oil country as Connor McDavid has signed an extension, and that means he'll stay in the city for at least another 2 years. A relatively good bargain for the best player on the planet. Of course, that team looking to avenge the sting of back-to-back Stanley Cup losses. In Toronto, the big question, What will life look like without Mitch Marner, and can Austin Matthews stay healthy? Ottawa and Montreal are really in a similar situation, getting a taste of playoff action last year after a string of rebuilding years. If we go further out west in Winnipeg, the best team last year, but not ultimately when it counted. Great regular season, but playoff disappointments. Calgary, they're looking to get back to the playoffs. Vancouver, they're looking to get back to the playoffs as well. So lots of storylines, Amanda, going into this year as the NHL season is already underway. And as we mentioned tonight, some classic Canadian matchups for your viewing pleasure.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see how far the Oilers go, too. We know the Leafs really cheering on the Jays, as they should. So, Scott, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV Scott Hurst reporting live from from our national newsroom in Toronto. And Scott mentioned this. It was a do or die game for the New York Yankees, but they just wouldn't die.
And a swing and a high drive to deep left center. He's hit it out.
The Toronto Blue Jays got off to a 6-1 lead early in last night's game, 3 of the American League Division Series, but a pair of critical errors by Toronto's defense and a game-tying 3-run homer by Aaron Judge helped the Yankees score 8 unanswered runs for a 9-6 win in the Bronx. The Jays still lead the best-of-5 series, 2-1. Game 4 goes tonight, again, at Yankee Stadium, hoping for a better outcome.
Oh, a nail-biting game ahead.
What's the deal with the yellow boot that's got on there? Does anybody know?
The yellow boot?
I have no idea.
Woo! I did not stay up to watch the game, so unfortunately I don't have, can't speak to this from experience.
I try to get highlights as much as possible,
yes,
but it's hard because, like, obviously we're up early.
We go to bed at 8 o'clock. We're lucky, so we miss a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and baseball games, they are long. I mean, rules have changed over the years, so they're not as long as they used to be.
That's true.
But Scott made such a great point, right? We've got the NHL season starting up.
I know.
Then basketball, the NBA season.
Love it. Busy time.
And, I mean, let's not forget, too, about the CFL and, like, football, too. Like, Thanksgiving. Oh, my gosh.
Lots of sports. Okay, if you don't love sports, you're more of a Barbie fan. This one's a story that you're going to love. Put this Airbnb on your bucket list. It's a real-life Barbie dream house. Check it out. Ooh. This is the Pink Valley Paradise Airbnb in San Antonio, Texas. Everywhere you turn, there's pink from bedrooms to the kitchen. There's even a roller skating rink inside the house.
Oh, no way.
It features 6 bedrooms, 23 beds, a movie theater, and a luxurious backyard straight out of Malibu. So booking this Barbie Dream House is going to cost you between $425 and $600 US a night, but the renters are usually groups of people who split the cost for a slumber party.
There's a movie theater?
Yeah, let's just see. Oh, there we go. This is the backyard. Like, it's just wild.
Wow. Honestly, good price.
It's not bad because 23 people could sleep there, so you can split it.
Look at that.
Pennies.
I mean, that does look like a lot of fun.
I know. All right, so that's in Texas. We got stuff going on here too.
We have lots. So we'll take a look at your community calendar. Thanksgiving dinners are actually back this fall in Prince William, New Brunswick. Sounds really cool. So gather with friends and family at King's Head Inn restaurant and enjoy an unforgettable feast. The dinners will be available until October 13th. For more information, you can head over to their website. And the PCH Auxiliary will host their annual gently used clothing sale this week in Summerside. You can come.
That's me, Amanda and I running, right?
Run there. So this is actually really interesting. It's going to take place at County Fair Mall Thursday, October 9th. So tomorrow until October 11th, and you can shop exceptional clothing. All funds raised go towards the Prince County Hospital to purchase new equipment. To learn more and to donate items, you can do that as well. You can contact the number on your screen. And in Halifax, you can enjoy a spooky night out by taking part in the Halifax Ghost Walk. Enjoy tales of ghosts, spirits, and more while walking Halifax's historic city streets. The event runs from now, actually until November 2nd. So to learn more, you can head over to the website on your screen as well. And if you do have an upcoming event, please send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at CTV.ca.
Thanks, Latavia. Quick break. Your Morning Atlantic returns right after this with a look at the forecast. And still ahead, we will share your answers to today's question of the day.
And welcome back, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:45. Taking a live look at St. John. 15 degrees starting off your day. We do have a chance of some showers early this morning before a chance of showers transitions over to rain. We are going to see wet weather track across much of the region a little bit later this morning. But first, seeing warm temperatures starting off your day. As of right now, 18 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 19 in Moncton, 17 starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Halifax, with 16 in Sydney and 13 into St. John's. Air quality statements remain in effect today for Kings and Annapolis counties. Keep that in mind if you are heading out in those communities today due to wildfire smoke. We are seeing a reduction in local air quality. So we do have some sunshine in the forecast early this morning for parts of Newfoundland as well as Cape Breton Island, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, but also a cloudy start to the day with this band of wet weather tracking across parts of New Brunswick as well as Labrador. Periods of rain will move across the region. So seeing into the afternoon, parts of Prince Edward Island as well as Nova Scotia seeing that wet weather arrive. And then into the evening and overnight hours, most of the maritime region will see precipitation clearing for the central and northern region of New Brunswick. The heaviest expected for parts of eastern Nova Scotia. Taking us into early Thursday morning, a cold day ahead. But if you are wondering about the precipitation totals, the much needed precipitation, looking at around 2 to 40 millimeters for much of New Brunswick, getting around 40 to 50 for St. John, New Brunswick, and seeing the heaviest 40 to 50 for Amherst, and 10 to 30 millimeters of rainfall for Prince Edward Island. For Labrador, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters, and for Newfoundland, looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters of precipitation. For forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will range from 10 to 19 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. We are expecting rain to move in starting later this morning and spreading across the province today, with gusts getting up to 50. For Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 20 to 21, a cloudy start to your day with rain arriving into the afternoon. And for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, lots of sunshine throughout your day. Rain not arriving until this evening with highs between 23 to 24. For the rest of Nova Scotia, a high of 23 degrees today, cloudy start to your day, rain expected until later this morning. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, only a high of 5 degrees in Labrador City, cloudy skies today with a chance of flurries returning into the afternoon. Lots of sunshine for Newfoundland and seeing showers arrive into the evening. Now, Wednesday tonight, it's going to cool down, and then that carries into Thursday morning, a very cold day ahead, even for our daytime highs. We are going to see sunshine return for much of the maritime region, but still seeing some isolated showers for Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, parts of Prince Edward Island, also seeing some wet weather, and parts of Newfoundland. Taking us into Friday's forecast, temperatures warm up just a bit. Still going to be a cool and breezy day ahead. Lots of sunshine yet again, with some lingering showers expected, Crystal.
Thanks, Octavia. 8:48. Now, Thanksgiving is this weekend. From decorated crafts, our next guest has turkey time essentials that will make hosting memorable. Joining us with her fall festive ideas is DIY contributor and our partner, Denise Wild. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning. So great to see you. Yes, Thanksgiving is around the corner, and I've got lots of great ideas.
All right, let's start with setting the tone.
Yes, let's start by decorating our spaces. Bring in all those warm fall colors, those beautiful fall objets. You can decorate your fireplace, a mantle, a small side table. Definitely dress up your harvest table with trendy pieces. All of this is from Walmart. They just have all of your Thanksgiving essentials under one roof. Low, affordable prices. You can shop in store. You can also shop online at walmart.ca. With free fast delivery on qualifying orders over $35. I have their subscription service. It's wonderful. And they just have so many great pieces that you don't want to miss this season.
Wow, your mantle looks fantastic. I really like that wreath too. Wow,
yes,
gorgeous.
Stunning.
All right.
Yes.
Look, okay, here you are setting. Are these also Walmart items that we're seeing on the table
They
here?
are, yes. So many pieces for your, dinnerware, for hosting, everything you need. And let's talk about drinks when you're hosting too.
There you go. Yes, let's get into it.
Okay, so this is a great mocktail for everyone of all ages to enjoy. I've taken some raw apple juice. I've added some caramel syrup, and then I've put in some ginger ale. chopped up some apple pieces, put it on ice. It's just a great drink that everyone will enjoy. And here's a great hack for Thanksgiving hosting. Actually, this is good to have year round. It is the Compost Genie. It's a compost collection bin that makes cleanup easier. It's sleek, it's spacious, it's stainless steel. It has a hands-free foot pedal, plus a carbon filter and ventilation system to keep odors at bay, reduce moisture, and then look, just scoop right in, and then you just tie off the bag for your curbside collection and then start fresh. So this is great when you're prepping and making that drink.
Two great ideas. The drink looks delicious. Everyone would love that. And the diaper genie, or not diaper genie, the compost genie is so sleek, and you can put a lot of stuff in there. I appreciate that.
It is. You know what? I have a 2-year-old, so I've got a diaper genie at home too. It's the kitchen equivalent.
All right. With our last minute here, Denise, we need to look at a couple of craft ideas. You always have good ones.
You bet. Let's get the kids crafting. So first of all, I've made little fall corn out of some pony beads and some pipe cleaners. You're just putting the beads onto the pipe cleaners. My daughter helped me make this. You can use fall colors, yellows, oranges, browns. You can do it up in any color that you want. Basically, you're going to twist them up, tie them up at the top to make a beautiful corn. You can also dress up some fall leaves into monsters. So that's a fun project as well. A little bit of googly eyes, a little bit of fun. It's just all about crafting, keeping the kids busy. You know, maybe you've got a kid table if you're hosting, but just keeping everyone fun and entertained doing fun little crafts.
I love this. And you can go for a walk, get the leaves, and then do the craft. It becomes a whole activity.
Exactly. Send the kids to the park. They can do a leaf, grab some leaves, add some googly eyes, and they're good to go.
All right, Denise, these are great ideas. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Those are Thanksgiving ideas, courtesy of our partner, Denise Wild. Your Money Atlantic will be right back after this break.
Back. I was definitely in the commercial break looking up the compost genie. That's
right?
the first I've heard of that, and I like the sounds of that.
Yeah, I know.
Battle fruit flies in our house.
It's the season.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. Maybe you're one of those people you do not like taking out the compost. You know, maybe that's a household chore that you absolutely refuse to do. That is today's topic that we've been talking about all morning. Thank you to everyone who took a moment to send us a text and send us their thoughts. Here is what you had to say. Starting with Monica. I hate cleaning our gravity-fed oil stove.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a horrible job.
It does. Thankfully, her husband does it for her.
That's a big job. Oh gosh, Monica.
I know. Yeah, thank you to Monica's husband. 10 out of 10. Stacy from Camp says, my least favorite chore is cleaning out the deep fryer and changing out the canola oil in it. I procrastinate for days before finally doing it. That would be a big job, too.
My takeaway from this is Stacy has a deep fryer. Let's go to her house for donuts.
Yes.
I know. Here's the thing. I always wanted a deep fryer, but I'm scared of what Stacy's saying, like cleaning it and changing out the oil. Oh, I know. Okay, well, God love you, Stacy. I bet you have some delicious meals. Ellie from Dartmouth, simple. I refuse to iron.
Same, girl, same.
Ellie, I'll come to your house. I love ironing. My
Find it
grandma taught me.
relaxing?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
The smell from it. Yeah, great. I know my husband, he buys clothes specifically that he doesn't have to. Okay. Iron. Hold on to your lunch. Mary from Antigonish says, listen, I can do bathroom cleaning, but vomit, no. I vomit as well.
That's a rough one.
That's a rough one for people. A lot of people have sensitive stomachs, and they absolutely cannot. Finally, Bernie from Ross say, what a good guy. There's no household chores that I refuse to do. Sorry, girls.
Bernie.
Good on you.
Come over to my house.
Bernie, a man after my own heart. Love this.
Yeah,
That's
Crystal's
awesome.
like, she loves to clean. She does
Me and Bernie, we had a great afternoon together. You get this, I'll get that. Good times.
Roll up the sleeves. Let's do it. Thank you for joining us so much today. We hope you have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Bundle up.